I did a lot of research, and to be honest, I felt that the CEDR course was the most respected course. I am a knowledge lawyer and of counsel, and I work for Mishcon de Raya. I support the commercial litigation, international arbitration and insurance teams. In terms of why I chose to become, to do any mediation course, it was a combination of wanting to have a better understanding of the mediation process from the perspective of being able to inform the lawyers that I work with and make sure that they were best equipped to be conducting mediations themselves. I also thought that it would be beneficial for me more generally in terms of building up skills on a personal basis. In terms of why I chose CEDR rather than another provider, I did a lot of research, and to be honest, I felt that the CEDR course was the most respected course, and it looked to me to be comprehensive, to have excellent trainers, and it really did look like it would fulfill all of my objectives. I think that one of the things that I found really useful was the analysis of negotiation skills and also listening skills. Skills that you need in order to make yourself both persuasive but also to be engaging and to encourage people to feel comfortable with you. So whether that's active listening or reflecting people's body language, things like that. As I said, it's quite important for me to be able to be quite persuasive in my role, and picking up all of those skills, although perhaps not something that I had necessarily planned when I started the course, has been invaluable to me, and I think I've really incorporated a lot of those skills into my day-to-day practice. I did enjoy it. I think at the beginning the idea of lots of role play was terrifying. It was strange and surprising how quickly I got used to it and felt comfortable with the process. The way it was introduced, it was a very comfortable environment, and because everyone was kind of in the same boat, it felt like a safe space in order to do it. Anything which gets you outside of your comfort zone is actually a good thing. I think from my perspective, I've been in my role for quite some time at various different firms. I'm used to what I'm doing. So doing something which is quite different, and as you say, very, very intense. The course was certainly one of the hardest things that I've done for quite a long time. It felt like a real achievement to do it, certainly. I think whenever you're having difficult conversations, which can happen in any scenario, it's been helpful. So having conversations with people, not necessarily difficult because they're going to be combative, but conversations where perhaps you might not necessarily feel comfortable. Having that skill base can be really useful. Talking to managers about promotion prospects, or whether it's frankly just talking to your partner about, you know, who didn't put the bins out when they were supposed to. It can be really, really useful, and I have found it very useful and enabled me to get much more comfortable with those situations much more quickly. I think so. I think especially in the current business environment where we're all dealing with an awful lot of change an awful lot of the time, and often if you're more senior in the business, you're trying to implement that change in circumstances where people can perhaps be a bit hostile. Having those skills can be really beneficial. It's not something that I ever contemplated when I was doing the course to start with, but actually reflecting on it's something that I think has set me up well for the future. Absolutely. I think having the understanding of how mediation works, both from the perspective of the counsel team and the perspective of the mediator, is invaluable. Understanding why the mediator is doing what they're doing wants certain information and frankly isn't interested in other information, sets you up for success, both in a mediation but also in terms of any informal negotiation. It really helps, and you know, when we were doing the course, we learnt an awful lot just generally about negotiation skills. And as you say, there were an awful lot of occasions where dispute might not ever even approach the prospect of a mediation, but having those skills will put you in the best position to negotiate on behalf of your client. Yeah, I remember finding it absolutely fascinating because there was such a range of people who were attending the course. So, you know, there were lawyers, other solicitors from private practice, in-house lawyers, barristers, but there were also people who had come from UN negotiation bodies, who had come from international arbitration institutions. There was a priest who was on our course. There was somebody, a construction professional. And it was absolutely brilliant because, you know, we were spending all day together. We were doing this very intense course, which involved a lot of role play. It meant that a lot of those initial barriers that there might have been came down very, very quickly. And you learn all sorts of fascinating things about people and about their businesses. In terms of the CEDR trainers, it was just incredible. Not just the people who were delivering the kind of more classroom-based learning at the start of the course, who were all total experts and had all of the information at their fingertips, but also on the days when we were doing assessments, the number of CEDR-accredited mediators with excellent practical experience who were coming in, who were running those assessments, who were giving us feedback the whole way through. It just felt like we were totally supported by proper experts rather than perhaps people who were just teaching for the sake of teaching. So yeah, that was brilliant. I would thoroughly recommend it. I have become somewhat evangelical, and for that I will not apologise.